could probably match him for movement. I have to, and endurance and speed.
Joseph Parker's recent outburst aimed at Oleksandr Usyk reeks more of panic than power. After years of skirting around Usyk and opting for other routes in the heavyweight division, this sudden wave of bravado feels manufactured. Parker had opportunities in the past to step up, to cement himself as the man willing to face the toughest challenge, and instead he chose safer options, most notably pursuing Tyson Fury instead of chasing Usyk. Now with the division moving forward and his relevance dwindling, he's shouting into the void claiming he wants Usyk next, but fans aren't buying it. What makes his latest antics even more ironic is Parker.
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. Want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one. And
Parker's attempt to flip the script, accusing Usyk of ducking him in order to chase a trilogy with Tyson Fury. It's laughable. Parker himself once avoided Usyk when the timing was perfect, and now he wants the public to believe he's the victim of avoidance. But that's not the reality. Usyk isn't ducking Parker, he simply has bigger fish to fry. Joseph Parker isn't a priority, and his callouts come across as a desperate ploy for relevance rather than a genuine hunger for legacy. Meanwhile, Oleksandr Usyk has made it clear where his focus lies. His latest response to Tyson Fury underscores exactly who's running the show in the heavyweight division. Usyk isn't whining about who's avoiding him or what's fair, he's chasing history. He wants the trilogy with Fury, the defining clashes that will settle once and for all who the true king of the division is. While Parker moans about being ignored, Usyk remains locked in on the biggest challenges available, the ones that elevate his already legendary.
I don't know what drugs you take. It doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger, might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter. That's proof. You know, so until more
resume. This isn't ducking, this is dominance. Parker, by contrast, is trying to slide into a conversation he was never truly part of, and boxing insiders are starting to notice. Johnny Nelson, for instance, has expressed bewilderment at the chaos surrounding the current heavyweight landscape. He's baffled at Parker's attempts to capitalize on the uncertainty, trying to worm his way into headlines as Fury and Usyk circle one another. Fans, Nelson suggests, aren't stupid. They see Parker's antics for what they are, a desperate bid for attention. Duke McKenzie is even harsher. He doesn't mince words when it comes to Parker's latest behavior, labeling it not just a bad professional look, but a betrayal to those who once believed in him. Parker, McKenzie argues, sidestepped Usyk when it truly...
It's just wrong, in my book. But you know what? I also think that, you know, what he's done, it's like a slap in the face for his...
mattered. He had the chance to cement his legacy, to show he was willing to face the best, and he turned it down. Now, years later, he's posturing as the loyal warrior who's always wanted the fight. McKenzie sees right through it and calls it a slap in the face, not only to his fans, but even to those close to him, like his father, who once believed in his unwavering pursuit of greatness. What makes matters worse for Parker is that these latest antics don't project confidence, they reveal desperation. The heavyweight division has evolved, new storylines have taken center stage, and Parker is scrambling to stay relevant. Meanwhile, Usyk continues to march steadily toward history, unbothered by distractions and equipped with a mentality that outclasses nearly everyone around him. Tyson Fury's latest involvement only heightens the divide. In true Fury fashion, the Gypsy King went nuclear, once again claiming he's the only man to have ever truly beaten.
And the Usyk knows there's only one man who can beat him. I've done it twice before, and the world knows it. I've been fucked, good and proper, without any Vaseline on. And I've took it like a man. And here's me, not fucking around at some boxing match. I'm out on the fucking road running.
Usyk. Whether you believe him or not, one thing's clear. Fury thrives at the center of the storm, commanding the spotlight with every move. Parker, on the other hand, is left clinging to the outskirts, begging for scraps. Fury's raw and unapologetic message reinforces the reality. He positions himself as the measuring stick, the king Usyk still has unfinished business with. And Parker, he's not even part of that conversation. While Fury and Usyk flirt with legacies and trilogies, Parker's efforts feel hollow in comparison. Fury's emotional outbursts reflect the true weight of carrying pressure at the pinnacle of the sport. Parker might talk a big game, but he's never stepped into that level of fire. Not yet, maybe not ever. Adding another layer to this saga, Parker's trainer Andy Lee has stepped forward with his own take, attempting to explain why Parker now believes he's ready for Usyk. According to Lee, Parker has evolved.
I agree, and are you going to be calling for this fight next once Usyk has been given his flowers?
I want it next. He can enjoy this time, and I hope he can give me the opportunity to share.
Ironed out the flaws in his game, particularly the pauses in his rhythm that Usyk would previously exploit. On the surface, it's a compelling argument. But here's the reality. A few training tweaks aren't enough to bridge the vast gulf in class between Parker and Usyk. Usyk operates on an entirely different level. He's not just a fighter who capitalizes on an opponent's mistakes. He's a master technician who systematically dismantles world-class opposition, while Lee's optimism paints a picture of a more complete Parker. It feels like wishful thinking. This is a coach hyping up his fighter, not a neutral observer weighing the facts. Parker's self-belief, while admirable, also feels manufactured. Yes, he's been in good form, but nothing in his recent resume suggests he's suddenly ready to dethrone one of the greatest talents of his era. And yet, Parker has doubled down with bold declarations, claiming he now has the game plan, the belief, and the right team to beat Usyk. But belief alone doesn't...
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. Want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one, and just work.
Doesn't win fights, especially not against someone like Usyk, a man who thrives on breaking down both body and mind. The pattern is familiar. Every challenger talks about having the strategy that will be different when facing Usyk, but when they step into his matrix, they get picked apart like everyone before them. Parker's momentum after beating Zhilei Zhang should have been the perfect springboard to go after Usyk immediately. Instead, he sat back and now he's acting as though the world owes him a shot. Usyk, on the other hand, has been laser-focused on unifying history, not entertaining side quests. Parker's confidence sounds less like conviction and more like a last-ditch sales pitch. He wants the fans to believe he's next in line, but the truth is, he's still 3 levels behind in terms of legacy and mentality. Frank Warren has been quick to point out that Parker is the mandatory challenger, but even he admits the title carries little weight if the public doesn't believe Parker is ready. Warren...
If Dubois or Usyk win, Parker's getting his shot.
He is the mandatory, and we'll see what happens then. Let's just get it all out of the way. But they're all in good positions. All our guys, we work very hard, and all of them they're either mandatories or interim champions, all ready to go. So
Warren tries to justify Parker's position as deserved, but fans aren't blind. Parker's path to this point has been built more on matchmaking than mayhem. By contrast, Usyk has fought the best and beaten them convincingly. If this fight does happen, it won't be because Parker forced his way into Usyk's world through fearsome knockouts or elite dominance. It'll be because the system allowed it, and that's exactly why this matchup feels lopsided from the jump. The pressure isn't just on Parker to show up, it's on him to convince the world he belongs in the same ring as a generational talent like Usyk. And yet, not everyone is ready to dismiss him. Roy Jones Jr., for example, has surprisingly thrown his support behind Parker, suggesting the New Zealander's speed, combinations, and chemistry with Andy Lee could make it a competitive fight. But being competitive isn't the same as being great. And when you're facing someone like Usyk, there's no room for average. Jones praises Parker's improved comfort and sharpness since the Joe Joyce loss, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's ready to dethrone an undefeated unified champion. Jones isn't wrong about the stylistic intrigue. Parker's speed versus Usyk's movement could create fast...
This guy right now is Joseph Parker. Why? Because he's not a big heavyweight. He's quick, he throws combinations, he has a great trainer with him now in Andy Lee, and he's more comfortable than I've ever seen him in his whole career. And so I think that is actually a very good fight for both fighters.
Fascinating chess-like exchanges, but the issue isn't potential, it's pedigree. Usyk has faced killers, conquered undefeated champions, and thrived under the brightest lights. Parker, by comparison, is only just clawing his way back into relevance. Eddie Oladipo echoes the sentiment shared by many fans. Parker's callouts are loud but uninspiring. We've heard it all before, the same scripted lines, the same recycled challenges. Unless something dramatic happens like Tyson Fury walking away from boxing or a massive upset reshuffling the division, Parker remains just another hopeful shouting into the void. Public interest reflects that reality. Fans are far more eager to see Usyk resolve unfinished business with Fury or test himself against Deontay Wilder than they are to watch what feels like a contrived rivalry with Parker. Oladipo's blunt assessment highlights the disconnect between Parker's ambition and his actual relevance in the current power structure. Tony Bellew, however, has voiced support for Parker, but his reasons are more emotional than analytical. Bellew has long admired fighters who rise from the edge of obscurity.
These call-outs are so unique. I feel like it's going to fall on deaf ears.
Unfortunately, it will.
I appreciate the call-out.
I appreciate that. I remember he did it with Dylan White and Anthony Joshua last year. And every one of them, they just get better and better. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I will say this now, right? I would rather see Parker versus Usyk than Dubois versus Usyk. I'll say it now.
Really?
I don't think we'll get Parker.
And Parker's resurgence after being written off post-Joyce fits that narrative. Bellew knows what it's like to be the underdog, and perhaps that's why he's rooting for Parker. But even Bellew would admit belief doesn't always align with reality. Parker's comeback is admirable, but it hasn't been against elite-level monsters. Usyk, meanwhile, has been outclassing world champions and elite operators for years. If this fight happens, it might be a stylistic spectacle, but it won't be one where Parker starts as a genuine threat. Bellew's support might give Parker a confidence boost, but confidence evaporates quickly once the first bell rings and Usyk's feints, footwork, and laser-accurate counters take control. The truth is simple. Parker wants this fight, Bellew wants this fight, but Usyk, he likely has bigger targets in mind. Now the pressure is squarely on Parker. He may have clawed his way back to the top through resilience and careful matchmaking, but stepping into the ring with Oleksandr Usyk is an entirely different challenge. This isn't just another fight, it's a clash between manufactured momentum and historic greatness. If Parker truly—
World owes Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
The whole heavyweight division owes Joseph Parker, so I'll just say that straight away now.
He gets his arm raised and he sails off into the sunset.
I think if this guy wins, he's literally done it all. He'll be...
Would you want Joseph Parker's name on your ledger, though?
I mean, maybe,
the last one,
possibly, maybe Parker's the only one, but I knowing him, he probably will. But if I was him, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight, he's cleaned out all the top guys, minus Joe Parker, because he hasn't had the opportunity yet. Now, I love Big Joe, but you would have to favour Usyk in a fight against Joe. If I'm Usyk, I don't even like this game. I hated this game. I had to get out. I've done it. I've completed it. I've done it.
Yeah, do you know what? I might be making a U-turn now. I might be saying Parker, then retire.
Yeah.
Parker, then retire. Then
he does get the shot. It won't be because he forced his way into Usyk's plans. It will be because he holds a mandatory slot in a system that often favors timing over talent. And here's the twist. If Parker somehow pulls off the unthinkable and dethrones Usyk, the entire heavyweight landscape would be turned upside down. Titles would scatter, rematches would erupt, and Parker would suddenly become the most unlikely kingpin of the era. But if Usyk wins, as many expect, he adds another elite scalp to his already legendary resume, silences the noise, and cements his status as the pound-for-pound genius of this generation. The burning question remains, who really wants it more? Usyk, who has been chasing legacy at every turn, or Parker, who seems to be chasing validation. Mentally, physically, and tactically, Usyk has every advantage, but boxing has always been a sport that leaves room for madness, for upsets, for chaos. The moment of truth is coming. Parker's words, his hype clips, and his team's belief will mean nothing once the first bell rings. It will be man versus machine, hope versus history. And the heavyweight division will never be the same depending on what happens next. So here's your call. Are you backing the master technician Oleksandr Usyk to continue his reign? Or do you believe Joseph Parker has one last shock in him to rewrite everything we thought we knew? Drop your thoughts below because this one could flip the heavyweight world on its head.